A 1, 2, 3, and... Gather up the pots and the old tin can, the corn and the mash and the barley and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from rising, Barney. Oh, keep your eyes well peeled today, for the tall, tall men they're on their way, searching for the mountain tay in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, the corn and the mash and the barley and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from rising, Barney. Oh, the mountain breezes whisper low, hear them echo in the town below. Those gomping men, they're on the go in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, the corn and the mash and the barley and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from rising, Barney. Oh, a gallon for the butcher and a quart for Tom, and a pot for poor old Father John, to help the poor old dear along in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin cans, the corn and the mash and the barley and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from rising, Barney. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, the corn and the mash and the barley and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from rising, Barney. Now stand your ground and don't you fall, the excise men they're at the wall. Holy be to God, they're drinking it all in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, the corn and the mash and the barley and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from rising, Barney. Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be, and so sorry for the late start. Turns out my broadcasting software updated itself last night, and in doing so, logged me out of all my platforms. So unfortunately, YouTubers aren't going to see me today, but Facebook, we're here. I see you. Hello, Ronnie. Hello, Matt. Hello, Stephen Becker. And hello, Elizabeth David. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I should take the 5 when I'm talking. I'm Deb Seymour. Welcome to Brunch with Deb. Today is the St. Patty's All Irish Music Special. Once upon a time, I was in an Irish music band. We were played together for 6 years, 7th string Celtic trio, and one day a year I break out all the instruments I used to play and entertain you with silly Irish songs, many that were an influence on my own original songwriting. Here's one we all know as Little Beggar Man. But when you sing it, it's Little Beggar Man. But when you play it, it's Red-Haired Boy. Anyway, I'm sure many of you will recognize this old Irish classic. We're just going to start to sing. I'm still rattled having my tech screw up this morning. I am a little beggar man, a begging life, been over 80 years on this little Isle of Breen. I begged from the Liffey right down to the zoo, and I'm known by the name of Old Johnny Doo. Of all the trades that go, and I'm sure begging is the best, for when a man that's tired, he can sit him down and rest. Begging for a supper, he's got nothing else to do but to cut around the country in his old rigadoo. Hey! Down at Catabon, a wet night sure, and the rain came on. Rat holes in the roof and the rain coming through, and the rats and the cats were playing peekaboo. Who did I waken but the lady of the house, with her white spotty apron and her calico blouse? Arg, she says. I said, boo, don't be afraid, it's only Johnny Doo. flaxy-haired girl one day. Good morning, little flaxy-haired girl, I'd say. Good morning to little beggar man, how do you do? With your rags and your tags and your old rigadoo. I'll buy a pair of leggings and a collar and a tie, and a nice young lady I'll fetch by and by. I'll buy a pair of goggles and I'll colour them blue, and an old-fashioned lady I will bake her too. Over the road with my rack on my back, and over the fields with a great heavy pack, with holes in my shoes, just toes peeping through, and skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip-skip- the story of my old rickatoo is goodbye. I'm get with you. God bless you, says old Johnny Doo. Little beggar man, little beggar man, little beggar man. Anyway, I hope you all had a lovely St. Patrick's Day on Friday night. I had a fabulous gig over in Renton, Washington at Soul Food Coffee House and Emporium, which I'd been wanting to play for years, and I finally got there. It was a Songwriters and Seattle Showcase. We had fabulous music by Royal Blunder, Christopher Frick, Chris Klemecki, and myself. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack, welcome. Yeah. Hi, Kathy. Glad you found me. I was having technical difficulties. If you didn't catch it before, my broadcasting software updated itself overnight and logged me out of all of the platforms. Well, St. Patrick's Day is also time for spring. And this song by Irish songwriter Mike Fitzgerald imagines what it would be like to be on a farm and going to the spring market once a year to gather your seeds and gather your goods. It's called Rathdrum Fair. Hope you enjoy it. I rose and I tasted the first breath of spring, the mists from the grassy lands rising. I set to my grey mare and saddled for the road, the green hills the sun was caressing. Saw the nest of the blackbird as she rose to the air, setting off in the direction of Rathdrum Fair. I come with the dawn, bringing silver to buy, hoping wits and good fortune would aid me. I rode with the sun, took my feet to one inn, where the talk was of livestock and memories, where old tales were traded for new ones in turn, and the pipes lamented well into the day-old, where the faces were old, but the eyes, they were good, knew the money in your pocket, and they'd have it if they could, where the jugglers and street sellers wandered around, and the fiddler was lost in the noise of the crowd. And when business is done, we'll adjourn for a dram and drink maybe well into the day-old. But when twilight draws near, you will drink your last beer, pack up your wares to take away, oh. The old mare will stumble and bite at the wind, while you sleep in the saddle, your collar turned in, and the years will grow old, and the traders will be gone, and the blackbird will follow the heat of the sun. Rathdrum Fair by Irish singer-songwriter Mike Fitzgerald was written in the 1980s, I believe. Anyway, hello there, Steve. Hello there, Sarah. No problem if you were late. I was late because I had a technical crash here, so it took me a while to dial it in, which I broke my own rule, which is always test stream everything before I go live every week, even though I think it's the same, because once in a while, like today, it wasn't. Okay. Back to the Arctic mandola. Those of you wondering, this is a mandola. It's a mandolin's little brother. There's also mandocellos and mando basses in full mandolin orchestras, just like the violin, viola, cello, bass. That's Morpheus meowing in the background outside the door. You might hear him. He would like to wish you St. Patrick's Day and wonder if you've brought him any green mice. Hi, Ronnie. Nice to see you. This song is about a sweet Irish Colleen who is trying to find a husband, but she's not having much luck. This is how Morpheus, my cat. Maybe you can't hear him, but I can. Anyway, back to the poor Irish Colleen trying to find a husband and not having much luck. Here's why. Johnny be fair and Johnny be wise and wants me for to wed. And I would marry Johnny, but me father up and said, I'm sad to tell your daughter what your mother never knew. Oops, I'm in the wrong key. Ha ha! Too much tippling this morning. Oh, Johnny be fair and Johnny be wise and wants me for to wed. And I would marry Johnny, but me father up and said, I'm sad to tell your daughter what your mother never knew. But Johnny is a son of mine, and so he's kin to you. Oh, Billy be fair and Billy be fine and wants me for to wed. And I would marry Billy, but me father up and said, I'm sad to tell you, daughter, what your mother never knew. But Billy too is a son of mine, and so he's kin to you. Well, Paddy be fair and Paddy be fine and wants me for to wed. And I would marry Paddy, but me father up and said, I'm sad to tell you, daughter, what your mother never knew. But Paddy too is a son of mine, oh yes, that Patrick, and so he's kin to you. Well, such a sad and sorry girl, 'tis truly that I was. The boys in town are all me kin and me father is the cause. If this just continue, I shall die a single miss. So I'll off to me mother and complain to her of this. Mama, mother, now, daughter, did I not teach you to forgive and to forget? And if your father sowed his oats, well, still you needn't fret. For your father may be father to all the boys in town, but still he's not the one who sired you. Ha ha! So marry who you will. Johnny be fair, going into the jigs, banish misfortune and smash the windows. I don't know if you've banished misfortune, if you've just smashed the windows, but it's fun to dance around to. Excellent. Now for some fun, as if we're not having enough fun. This is called a bodhran. That's Bodhran. It is the Irish drum. I'd like to feature the Irish drum on this song I learned from the singing of the Clancy brothers and Tommy Makem, another tale of marriage misfortune. This is called Mick Maguire. Me name is Mick Maguire, and I'll quickly tell it to you of a young girl I admired named Katie Donahue. She was fair and fat and 40, and believe me when I say, whenever I come in at the door you could hear her mummy say, Johnny, get up from the fire, get up and give the man a sate. Can't you see it's Mr. Maguire and he's courting your sister Kate? You know very well he owns the farm a wee bit out of the town. Get up off of that, you impudent brat, and let Mr. Maguire sit down. Diddly-dody, dodely-dody, diddly-dody, dody-day, diddly-dody, dodely-dody, diddly-dody, dodely-day. You know very well he owns the farm a wee bit out of the town. Get up off of that, you impudent brat, and let Mr. Maguire sit down. The first time that I met her was at a dance at Tara McGee, and I plainly kindly asked her if she'd dance a step with me. I asked if I could see her home if I be going her way, and at the time I come in the door you could hear her mummy say, Johnny, get up from the fire, get up and give the man a sate. Can't you see it's Mr. Maguire and he's courting your sister Kate? You know very well he owns the farm a wee bit out of the town. Get up off of that, you impudent brand, and let Mr. Maguire sit down. Diddly-dody, dodely-dody, diddly-dody, dody-day, diddly-dody, dody, dody, diddly-dody, dody-day. You know very well he owns the farm a wee bit out of the town. Get up off of that, you impudent brat, and let Mr. Maguire sit down. Now that we are married, sure, her mother's changed her mind, just because I spent the legacy her father left behind. She hasn't got the decency to give me time of day, and now each time I'm at the door you could hear the old one say, Johnny, come into the fire, come in and sitting in the draught. Can't you see it's old Maguire, he nearly drives me daft. I don't know what it's in him that he's always on the tear. Just sit where you are and never you dare to give old Maguire the chair. Diddly-dody, dody-dody, diddly-dody, dody-do, diddly-dody, dody-dody, diddly-dody, dody-do. I don't know what it's in him that he's always on the tear. Just sit where you are and never you dare to give old Maguire the chair. Mick Maguire. Mick Maguire, that scheming shebeen. Mick Maguire. Who else has popped in here? Hey, Youch Bunch, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Which instrument am I using? Oh, I know which instrument I'm using. Here's the one original I've written. It is an Irish jig style. Because I'm not Irish, but it is a jig. This is dedicated to my dear friend Roger Bergen. When Roger was in the hospital, I used to go visit him and play him tunes, and he laughed and said, "Oh, some folks play tunes from County Mayo, but here we play tunes from County General." So this is called Roger's Jig. Roger's jig, I can see you dancing, I know you will. Here's a song about drinking. Tim Finnegan lived in Walkin Street, a gentleman Irish mighty odd. He had a brogue both witch and sweet, and to rise in the world he carried a hod. Now Tim had a sort of a tipplin' way, with a love for the liquor since he was born, to help him on with his work each day, a drop from the noggin both night and morn. Whack for the dado, dance with your partner, right the floors your trotter shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. One morning Tim felt rather full, his head felt heavy, it'd make him scrape. He fell from the ladder and he broke his skull. They carried his corpse home for to wake. Laid him up in a nice green sheet, pail of booty on his head, a bottle of whiskey at his feet, and a bottle of porter at his head. Whack for the dado, dance with your partner, wipe the floors your trotter shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Well, his friends assembled at the wake, and Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch. First they brought in tea and cake, and pipes, tobacco and whiskey punch. Biddy O'Brien began to cry, such a fine clean corpse did you ever see? Oh, Tim Overeen, why'd you die? Oh, how'd your gob, said Paddy McGee. Oh, act for the dado, dance with your partner, wipe the floors your trotter shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Then Paddy McConnell took up the cause. Oh, Biddy, I'm sorry you're wrong for sure. Biddy gave her a smack on the jaw and sent her sprawling on the floor. Soon the ruckus did her gauge. It was woman and man to man, ripping and roaring all the rage. Shillelagh was of the land. Oh, up for the dado, dance with your partner, wipe the floors your trotter shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Lake. Then Biddy O'Brien did as a noggin of whiskey flew at him. Well, it landed on the coffin, and there fell and scattered over Tim. Tim O'Risey, how he rises. Timothy's rising from the bed. Whale your whiskey round like blazes. God in heaven, did you think I was dead? Whack for the dado, dance with your partner, wipe the floors your trotter shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Whack for the dado, dance with your partner, wipe the floors your trotter shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. So whiskey revived the dead man. Whiskey, that's called Finnegan's Wake. Well, we figured that out. I've got one more set of instrumentals, then we'll end it with another drinking song and call it good for this year's St. Paddy's Day. The look of the Irish. All right. This is called Coleraine. It's kind of funny because to me the mandolas and mandolins are really an ensemble instrument, so it always feels a little odd to play it solo. But Kathy Messman had asked, because you usually see the mandolin sitting over where the mandola sitting where the mandolin is. I have both. Mandola sounds a little better. That's a kind of a funky mandolin. I usually have them there mostly for show, but we get to play them once in a while. Yes, Sarah, that is a lot of words. Anyway, tip jars are open. If anyone feels like tripling to my Tiplin pot, actually it's contributing to the studio album pot. We have now 7 out of 10 songs recorded on the new album. There's going to be a break while I go on tour, but we'll try and get it done. It should be out in September. So thank you so much for your support. There's the old Irish blessing about may the road rise up to meet you, and may the be you half hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead. I forget the poem. I should have pulled it up, but I do wish those things for you on this fine spring day. It's lovely here in Seattle. Daffodils are all just in a riot of yellow color in my front yards, and the tulips are starting to come up. And I look forward to that 1 week where you have both daffodils and tulips at the same time. Take care of yourselves. Oh, thanks, Sarah. Oh, Ronnie used to play a club called Finnegan's Wake. Yeah, Finnegan's Wake. Well, that's the story. It's based on an Irish legend about a guy who died and was revived. There's actually probably some truth to that because frequently in the 1800s, they didn't have the modern equipment we had today, so they couldn't really tell if he were dead. It's a horrible thought. But at least he rose up. Take care. Remember to tell the people you love them sooner rather than later. I appreciate your support and being here. Sorry about the rough start. Note to self, test stream at least an hour before you go on air, not 5 minutes. Broke my own rule. Anyway, we're going to end with another drinking song sung by those lovely sirens of song, the triplets who have been tipplin'. This is called Boozin'.
Woohoo! Woo! Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Boozin', boozin', just you and I. Boozin', boozin' when we are dry. Some do it openly, some on the sly, but we all are bloody well boozin'. And what are the joys of the single young man? Boozin', bloody well boozin'. And what is he doing whenever he can? Boozin', bloody well boozin'. You may think I'm wrong or you may think I'm right. I don't want to argue, I know you can fight. But what do you think we'll be doing tonight? Boozin', bloody well boozin'. Boozin', boozin', just you and I. Boozin', boozin' when we are dry. Some do it openly, some on the sly, but we all are bloody well boozin'. And what are the joys of the poor married man? Boozin', bloody well boozin'. And what is he doing whenever he can? Boozin', bloody well boozin'. He goes out a shopping, makes many a call. He comes home at night and he gives his wife all. But what brings him home hanging on to the wall? Boozin', bloody well boozin'. Boozin', boozin', just you and I. Boozin', boozin' when we are dry. Some do it openly, some on the sly, but we all are bloody well boozin'. And what does the Salvation Army run down? Boozin', bloody well boozin'. And what are they banning in every town? Boozin', bloody well boozin'. They stand on street corners, they rail and they shout. They shout about things they know nothing about. But what do they do when the lights are turned out? They're boozin', bloody well boozin'. Boozin', boozin', just you and I. Boozin', boozin' when we are dry. Some do it openly, some on the sly, but we all are bloody well boozin'. Some do it openly, some on the sly, but we all are bloody well